Acharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. We can chant this first shloka together. Nahan deho nendriyanyantaram nahankarah pranavargo na buddhihi धारापत्यक्षेत्रवित्तादिदूरः साक्षी नित्यः प्रत्यगात्मा शिवोऽहम्. So here Atma Anatma Viveka, which is done in the beginning of the teaching on the self, that is represented, it is paraphrased, briefly presented. And we saw the meaning. Naham dehaha, I am not the body, I am not the indriyas, the organs, and I am not pranavargaha, the group of pranas, na buddhihi, I am not the intellect. Because all of them are drishya. Drishya means experienced, available for experience, objectifiable. Since they are drishya, knowable, and I am drashta, the knower, therefore I am different from them. The last one was antarangaha ahankaraha aham na. I am not the ahankara, which is antarangaha. Antaranga means inner. The inner ahankara I am not. And we saw the word ahankara has got different meanings in different contexts. Ahankara means pride. Aham sarva shreshtaha iti buddhihi. That is ahankara. Or Bhagavan Bhashyakara in the Bhagavad Gita Bhashyam, he says, aham means karya karana sanghate aham pratyayaha ahankara. Ahankara vimudhatma kartahamiti manyate. In the 3rd chapter, there Bhagavan Bhashyakara says that aham pratyayaha, I notion, in karya karana sanghata, the body mind sense complex, is called ahankara. So, identification with the body mind sense complex is called ahankara. But here, little bit refined meaning we have to take because of the context. That meaning also is okay. I am not that ahankara. But since here all the words are revealing the dharmi, the entity, and therefore ahankara we don't take it as identification. We take ahankara as the antahkaranam, which is having this aham pratyaya, the identification. So here ahankara means abhimanashraya, antahkaranam ahankara. So the mind, the inner instrument, where this sense of identification is entertained, that is called here ahankara. So I am not ahankara means I am not that aspect of antahkaranam which is entertaining this identification. I am karta, I am bhokta, means I am sukhi, I am dukhi, I am fat, I am lean. All those identifications, the thoughts of identifications, the notions in the form of identifications are entertained in a particular aspect of antahkaranam is ahankara, and that also I am not. Because I can objectify even this ahankara. I can see that my reaction was there because I entertained the notion of identification with the body. Somebody called a motu means fat. Then I felt insulted. So As a Vedanta student, I immediately say, this happened because the thought of identification was entertained. I entertained the thought of the identification with the body. Somebody called idiot. I felt very bad, especially in front of everybody. Like Kahola was told, I remember, Kahola was told by his would-be son. So would-be son, no, because still he was in the womb. So he told in front of everybody. So he felt insulted. Why? This the identification. And I can be aware, I can objectify even this identification. And that identification is there in the mind. I am aware of the mind which is entertaining identification. And therefore I am na ahankaraha. And it is called antarangaha. It is the innermost among all these anatmas. Because all other identifications will be there when the I notion is there first. When I notion is there in the antakarana, then only further identification with the indriyas and the body is possible. Therefore, ahankara is called antarangaha. So, even in the process of, in the sadhana of negation, we first negation the gross part first, the body, then organs, then mind, and then ahankara. And therefore, it is antarangaha, it is the interior one. Thus, in the first two lines, there was a negation of body, senses, prana, mind and ahankara. And here buddhi. Buddhi stands for manaha and buddhi both. And then ahankara. Now in the next line, dara patya kshetra vittadi duraha. Aham. We have to connect with aham. I am duraha. Very far off. Means very much different from. Duraha has got the meaning very much different from dara, wife, apatya, children, kshetra, land, vitta, wealth. Adi. Adi we can take anything. The gadgets, the staff, the servants, etc. Fame, name. From all of them, I am duraha. Dura means very far up. Means very much different. What is the significance of duraha? Dara, patya, kshetra, vittadi, all these are connected to me through the body. As long as this body is there, so long only husband-wife relationship is there. When body is gone, next janma, role can be reversed also. Who is husband will become wife, and who become wife can become husband also, to settle the account, Because as a husband you harass me so much, so I will become husband and settle the account. Possible. In Bhagavatam it comes that generally this man becomes woman and woman becomes man. Because man keeps on thinking about woman. So what do you think? So yagati samati. Sorry, yamati sagati. And therefore that also is possible. Therefore this relationship is only as long as the body. And sometimes in a story it comes that the person was very attached to his wealth. And generally the old generation, they have always this feeling that we have saved this money, earned this money with so much hard work. And the next generation doesn't know the value of money. They are unnecessarily spending money. This is a very constant conflict in many houses. One man used to be there in Bangalore. He said, my Swamiji, my son is spending so much. I said, is he asking from you? He is spending what he is earning, no? Aapka kya jata hai? So, no, he cannot. So this father was feeling that my next generation will not spend money properly. So I have to protect money. And therefore, this man, father who died, next Janma, he became dog. Because he thought, if I am a dog, I will take care of the house. And the son will be driving away the dog. He doesn't know he is my father. So what I want to say, that all relationship are there based on the body. Dara, apatya, children. You say, my children, how long? As long as this body is there. In Bhagavata, this story, very beautiful story comes when one king did not have children. And so Narada, when he came to this king, the king asked that you please grant me a child. He said, you don't have really sukham of child, but still he pleaded and pleaded. So Narada granted. Okay, you will have a child. Then Raja had so many queens. So one queen got the child. So naturally that queen became very favorite to the king. So all other queens were very jealous of this queen. And therefore what they did? They poisoned the child. Child died. Then king is crying and crying and crying. Then that time also Narada came. Then Narada, this king said, you please make him alive. He revived him. Narada said, no, your account is over. Somehow account was there, but account is over. The child cannot come back. Once it is departed, gone. Raja said, no, you are a rishi, you can do anything. So Narada said, I will bring that jiva back to this body, provided that jiva wants to come back. Forcefully I cannot bring. Raja said, that is reasonable, no? You cannot force the person to go back to the old house. So Raja said, okay. Then Narada, he invoked that jiva, called that jiva and said, your parents are crying. You come back to this body. Then that jiva said, which parents you are talking about? I have so many parents in so many janmas. And therefore, as long as this body is, so long alone this relationship is. Your land also is what? As long as you are alive. Afterwards, it's not your land. In fact, you imagine your land in this janma, and next janma, you are grown up and about 15, 20 years old, and you ask, you give me little land, at least let me stay here. You will not be allowed. Even if you say because of some karma you have got the smriti that this was my land, if you claim, will it be allowed? No. So remember, all these relationship possessions are there as long as this body is there. And body itself, I am not. I am not the body, and therefore body based relationship I am very far off. So I am very much different from Dara, Apatya, Kshetra, Vitta. And one has to develop certain objectivity with reference to all of them. Then only you will be able to appreciate very well that I am different from the body. They depend upon each other. I see this, that all these things do not belong to me. If I have so much possessiveness about my wife, my husband, my child, then I am not the body, will not be assimilated well. Your obsession with relationship will not allow you to assimilate the fact I am different from the body. And therefore, that needs to be attended first. And then, after negating what all I am not, now in the next last sentence it is said, then who am I? Sakshi. I am the witness of all of them. What is the meaning of Sakshi? Sakshat Drashta Sakshi. Sakshat Drashtari Sanyayam. In Panini grammar it comes that Sakshat Drashta, one who is seeing directly. And here seeing means, as Swamiji had clarified, illumining everything. So consciousness which illumines the mind directly, and consciousness which illumines everything through the mind, that is called Sakshi. So who am I? I am Sakshi. Sakshi means consciousness which is illumining everything. And this word Sakshi conveys the idea that I am Drashta without any modification. Nirvikara Drashta Sakshi. So that is the idea conveyed by this. Drashta, between Drashta and Sakshi, if we want to make technical difference, Drashta refers to Pramata, which undergoes a modification, whereas the Sakshi is Nirvikara Drashta. I, consciousness, illumine everything by mere presence. I do not have this choice, free will, to illumine or not to illumine. Like yesterday somebody asked this question, why are we illumining this ahankara? The sun, as Swamiji gave the example, the sun doesn't have a choice. Whatever comes, illumines. And I, consciousness, illumine everything without undergoing any change. And that illuminator, I, is called Sakshi. And you must have heard this word Sakshi Bhava. Have you heard this word Sakshi Bhava? What is this Sakshi Bhava? People think that you just become Sakshi. Remember, you do not become Sakshi. Sakshi Bhava means owning up the fact that I am Sakshi. Sakshi Bhava does not mean becoming witness. Sakshi Bhava means owning up the fact about myself that I am witness. Why do we need to own up this fact? Because I am considering myself to be Karta and Bhokta, doer and experiencer. To negate that status, superimposed status of Atma, Shastra emphasizes this fact. You are not Karta, you are not Bhokta, you are what? Sakshi. And here, another thing to be noted is, generally Sakshi word used for a witness in the court is called Sakshi. Is that word in Tamil, the Sakshi word is there? Sakshi is only called? Okay, very good. In Gujarati also there, Hindi also it is there. Sakshi. So there, Sakshi means one who has got Sakshat Darshanam is called Sakshi. So one who has got Pratyaksha Jnanam of something is called Sakshi. So Pratyaksha Jnanavan Sakshi. One who has got direct knowledge. I saw that this person was beating him or her. I saw with my eyes. I heard he was telling like this to that person. So one who has got Pratyaksha Jnanam is generally called Sakshi in common parlance. But here, when we use the word Sakshi for Atma, Atma does not have Pratyaksha Jnanam in literal sense. The way that Mr. Devadatta is a Sakshi and he has heard something, seen something, similarly I, Atma, am particularly knowing something, cognizing something, that is not the case. So I am Sakshi of the mind does not mean I am cognizing the mind. I am Sakshi of the mind means I am illumining the mind. So don't think that Sakshi means knowing the mind. The knower of the mind is not called Sakshi. The illuminator of the mind is called Sakshi. That needs to be clear, because knowing in literal sense involves modifications, and therefore Sakshi will be Vikari if it is knowing in literal sense. Therefore Sakshi, you should not think that I am knowing that mind is going there, mind is going there, so I know it, Swamiji. Therefore I am Sakshi. That is not the real meaning of Sakshi. Even though for all practical purpose we do, when Viveka we say, I know the thoughts of the mind, therefore I am Sakshi. But technically, precisely speaking, Atma does not know the mind. Atma illumines the mind. Like the light does not know the clip, light illumines the clip. That difference is to be noted, otherwise the difference between the Pramata and Sakshi will not be clear. Alright, so Sakshi means I am consciousness illumining the mind and illumining everything else through the mind. Whatever is brought in the mind through the organs, that also is illumined by me. So I am Sakshi, changeless illuminator of the mind. Now one more thing to be understood about Sakshi, because there are so many Bhranti possible. Is Chaitanyam consciousness everywhere? Yes, because consciousness is existence. Existence is everywhere, and existence alone is consciousness. Therefore, consciousness is everywhere. Is Sakshi everywhere? We say no. Sakshi word is used for consciousness only when it is seen as illuminator of Antahkarana. Therefore, in the clip, consciousness is there, but in the clip, Sakshi is not there. Sakshi status is given to the consciousness only with reference to the Antahkarana Upadhi. I am Sakshi illumining the mind. And I, Sakshi, am illumining every mind. In that Sakshi, as consciousness, there is no difference. Behind all Sakshi, there is one and the same consciousness. But the word Sakshi is not used with reference to the consciousness obtaining in inert objects. So, I am Sakshi obtaining, illumining the Antahkaranam. And as I said, the word Sakshi is emphasized in the Shastra to negate my Kartrutva and Bhoktrutva. Naham Karta, Naham Bhokta, Kintu Sakshi. Aham Asmi. Alright. Then Nityaha. All are my glories, Like Vashtottara we give, similarly I am appreciating my glory. You have assimilated Vedanta. When you are listening to Vedanta, you feel that it is my glory. All people are studying me. Then you have imbibed the vision. I alone am the hero of the story of Vedanta. If Vedanta is a story, I am the hero. Do I get that type of appreciation? That whatever is written here, it is about me. One student in Sandipani, where Pujya Swamiji taught in Bombay, so one student has written on his desk, Swamiji talks about me. He has written on the desk. Because there is a possibility of externalizing the teaching. There is some Atma. Atma is Sachidananda. Atma is never destroyed. But I am so feeling, I don't know what will happen to me. So, remember that it all story is about me. That is a very good exercise. Wherever Sakshi is there, I say, I am Sakshi. I am Nitya. Here in that word also is there. Aham. I am Sakshi. This is one of the important exercise in the pursuit of Jnanam. And that is shifting one's identity from Anatma to Atma. You understand Atma, but you still retain your identity with Anatma only. And therefore, we keep saying, I am Sakshi. I am Nityaha. Nityaha literally means permanent, eternal, they call it. But as Swamiji explained, Nityaha means timeless. Nitya generally we think that what? That which is permanently existing in time, that which is in all three periods of time. That is what generally understood as Nitya. To begin with, that is okay. In fact, the word Nitya is derived like that. That Niyamena Bhava Nityam. So that which is all the time there is called Nitya. So we understand what? That which is obtaining in all three periods of time, that is Nitya. To begin with, that is good enough. Why? Because I am thinking myself to be destructible. I thought I was not there and I will not be there. People say that, no? When I am not there, you do whatever you want. People say that. Many parents, they say, in front of me, don't do this. When I am not there, you do it. So this, we have got this notion. What? I will not be there. I will not be there. So Vedanta says that is not true. You will ever be there. You were there, you are there, you will continue to be there. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna, they presented this idea in Bhagavad Gita in double negative. Natve vaham jatu nasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva na bhavishyamaha sarve vayamatah param. He said there was no time when we were not there. There will not be any time when we will not be there. Means we will always be there. It's a good beginning, but finally we have to understand I am Nityaha means not someone who is contained in time. In fact, time is contained in me. Time is mithya, it comes and goes, it appears, it is believed to be there and it is negated. But I am the content of time. I am timeless. That is the final meaning of Nityaha. Alright, so I am Nityaha means time cannot negate, cannot destroy my existence. Nityaha. This Nityaha is assimilated well, then fear of death will not be there. Otherwise, this remains that, oh, I will die. Other will die. There is a beautiful story of Dhanraj Giri. Dhanraj Giri, who was the founder of Kailas Ashram, wherever Pujya Swamiji studied, from Swami Tarananji. Here the first picture is there with turban, that is Swami Tarananji. And he studied with him Brahma Sutra in Kailas Ashram. And this Kailas Ashram was founded by one great Swamiji called Dhanraj Giri. In fact, that is why name Kailas. Dhanraj is Kubera. Kubera's mountain is what? Kailasa. Therefore, Kailas Ashram. And that Swamiji was so great. Every Swami loved him so much. And that Swamiji was about to leave his body. And even though the Swamis, some of them still not fully assimilated Vedanta, so they were feeling little low. Maybe perhaps tears might be there, perhaps. But This Swamiji could see that all of them are very sad. So even though he was lying, but when he heard something like this, oh, this Swamiji is going, Swamiji is going, what will happen to us or something, he got up. And he said, we have studied Vedanta. In Vedanta we have studied Nasato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate satah, satah abhavaha na vidyate. There is no absence of Sat Swarupa Atma. I am Sat Swarupa Atma. There is the thing to be grieved after. And he left this body. With this teaching, he left the body. So when I have this understanding, I am Nityaha, then fear of death will not be there. Then Pratyagatma, I am the inner self. Pratyak means inner, Atma means self. Inner self, I am inner self. So what is the meaning of inner self? Do we have 4-5 selves or something? That one is outer, like chappals we have, no? Outside chappal, inside chappal, bathroom chappal, we have so many chappal. So similarly, do we have so many selves, like one self for my husband, one self for my children, one self for my friend? Is that so? Self is only one. But imposter selves, false selves, the selves which are not really selves but thought to be the self, that are many. Like what? The body. Body is considered to be the self. Therefore we say what? Swamiji, I myself got up. You say what? I myself got up. Who got up? The body got up. But we use the word what? I myself got up. Means what? The body is considered to be the self. Sense organs are considered to be the self. I myself saw it, Swamiji. I myself saw it. Mind also is considered to be the self. Swamiji, I was so sad. I myself was doubting, Swamiji. All these are what? Mind. But I consider what? Self. Then intellect. Swamiji, I got this idea. Nobody could think, I got this idea. So I am considered what? Buddhi to be the self. Ahankara. It is me, Swamiji, it is me. Who did this? It is me, Swamiji. So I am considering all of them to be the self, which are not real self. And considering this false self means the unreal self, the real self is considered to be Pratyagatma, inner self. Why? Because all of them are Bahya Atma. Body, senses, or this mind, intellect, ahankara, all of them are Bahya Atma. Why Bahya? Because they are subject to negation. When you come to I am consciousness, then there is no more negation. Therefore, consciousness, Sakshi, consciousness is called Pratyagatma. Inner self. And here inner self means the sense of real self. So, I, consciousness, am real self. I am not the body, etc. This unreal self, I am real self, Sakshi. So, Pratyagatma has got the meaning inner self, real self. It is something like, generally I give this example. Some 300-400 years ago, we may not have the word pure ghee. Isn't it? Because there was no other ghee. Only one type of ghee was there. We never hear that Krishna sometimes was eating pure ghee, sometimes dalda. We don't hear that. So there was no word pure ghee. But how pure ghee word came? Because we have got some this dalda ghee, hydrogenated oil they call it. So, since other one came, which is false one, therefore we have to use the word pure ghee. Similarly, real self is only one. We don't have to use the word Pratyagatma. Only one Atma is there. But since other things are also considered to be Atma, therefore we have to say what? Real Atma, inner Atma. Like it happens in some ashram, no? That all the Shishyas will be looking like the head of the ashram. When I went to Art of Living, that you will see many people who will look like Ravi Shankarji. I told Ravi Shankarji, I said, it is like a Vishnu Loka. In Vishnu Loka, those people have got Sarupya Mukti. Those who know Sarupya. Those got Sarupya Mukti, they will have Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. Only one thing they will not have, the Kaustuba. Except that, they will be looking like Vishnu only. So, every time when you go there first time, you will be doing Namaskara every time, everybody. How many times you have to do? Because you think this is Vishnu, this is Vishnu. Then somebody who is sympathetic to you will say, I will take you to real Vishnu. Similarly here, since so many other things are looking like, considered to be the self, therefore we use the word Pratyagatma, inner self, the real self. Another meaning of this word Pratyagatma is there, that is Prati Anchate Prakashate iti Pratyagatma. That which is shining in the manner opposite to this Ahankara, etc., is called Pratyagatma. So, Atma, when it is understood correctly, then it is understood as Chaitanya Swarupa. It is of the nature of consciousness, of the nature of existence, of the nature of Ananda, which is opposite to the nature of Anatma, body, senses, mind. And therefore also it is called Pratyagatma. So Pratyagatma means the self which is shining, which is understood, recognized as of the nature opposite to the nature of Anatma, is called Pratyagatma. So I am real self of distinct nature. Shivaha, I am Shivaha. Shivaha we have seen already in the Ashtottara itself. Shivaha literally means Mangalam, auspicious. And finally, what is auspicious? Ananda, happiness. And happiness is of two types. One is experiential happiness, other is the happiness which is my nature in the form of fullness. So here Shivaha means this Swarupa Ananda, the Ananda which is my nature. And this Ananda is nothing but Ananta. As Swamiji pointed out, that Ananta word is used in terms of limitless nature of Atma. When we are appreciating Atma to be free from limitations, what are the limitations? Time-wise, space-wise, object-wise. Then we use the word Ananta. So Ananta word is a reality word, the word indicating the reality or real nature of Atma. Ananda word is used to show that it is a Purushartha. Because everybody finally wants what? Ananda. And technically, the word Ananda is used for this Ananta Atma because this Ananta Atma alone is the basis for all your experiential happiness. So what is Ananda? Ananda is limitless self, which is the basis for all your experiential happiness. So whenever you are having this Laddu Ananda, Laddu means sweet, sweet ball. So how to translate Laddu? When we were studying Bhandarkar, they used to translate as sweet meat. That's how the translation was. So, Laddu Ananda when you have, that time also it is the Swarupa Ananda. The limitlessness of the self alone is getting manifest. That is why in Panchadashi we have this Vishayanande Atmananda. Then Vidyanande Atmananda. Yoganande Atmananda. That is why in Ashtavakra Gita also word came. Ananda Paramananda. It's a really challenging word. Ananda and Paramananda means what? Atma alone is available as experiential happiness. Atma alone, by Atma, by itself, it is Paramananda, limitless. So, generally, the word Ananda in all the book, most of the books you see in English, they will translate as what? Bliss. Have you heard this, read this? Bliss. Pujya Swamiji was vehemently, he was dismissing that. Because the word bliss, see, if you have explained it very well, no problem. You can use any word. But Pujya Swamiji's approach was that if a word has got some different connotation than what we want to convey, better you don't use. It is not that those who use the word bliss, they have no understanding of Vedanta. There are some acharyas who use the word bliss, they may have understanding of Vedanta. Nothing wrong. We don't say they are ignorant or they are confused. That is not correct. But Pujya Swamiji's approach was that if a word has got different connotation, it is used in the sense of something else, then why to use that? You always see when you use any instrument, which instrument you use, you know for sure that this instrument will not create any hazard, isn't it? So similarly, Pujya Swamiji's approach was that you use that word which does not have other connotation. Therefore, he used to avoid using the word bliss. Even though some acharyas are using and they are great acharyas, they have got clarity, but they are using. Whereas Pujya Swamiji's approach is that. What is the problem with the word bliss? The word bliss, if not explained properly, it creates the feeling of some mysterious experiential happiness, some ecstasy. That generally when you say, I experience bliss. So I was in meditation, I experienced bliss. So we don't generally translate the word Shiva or Ananda as bliss, even though it can be translated if it is explained properly. So what do we say? Ananda, Pujya Swamiji used to say fullness. That's a better word. Ananda means fullness. So experiential happiness is nothing but the manifestation of your fullness. That is why a wise person, people ask this, Swamiji, wise person will enjoy the ice cream or not? No. Or if you give ice cream also, he will have same long face. And if you give him this yesterday's dry, hard roti, then also same face. No. Wise person enjoys, but he has this vision. What is the vision? My Ananda is manifesting in the mind. I am manifesting. And not only when he himself is eating, when somebody is eating and being happy, he say, I am manifesting there in the form of ice cream Ananda. Nice? You not only when you eat, you enjoy even when others are enjoying. Some people have this problem. When they cannot eat sweet and others are eating, they feel very bad. बोले मेरे सामने मत खाना. So don't eat in front. Whereas the wise person, he said, oh, therefore Pujya Swamiji used to love feeding, giving good items. Once Pujya Swamiji, some years ago, he went to Hyderabad. So he took these all mangoes, etc. for his students. He took all trouble to do that. And he used to love that. He used to inquire. In the first course, I know, he said, students are getting this. Once Swamiji was given some bread, nicely made. Then somebody asked Swamiji, how is it? Swamiji said, it is good. But it would have been better if all students also got it. So, means not only he enjoys, he enjoys seeing all others enjoying. Why? Because the understanding is what? My fullness or I fullness alone am manifesting in the form of all experiential happiness. Therefore, he doesn't have any complaint that why they are doing this. In fact, Puja Swamiji's approach was that when students are here for the course, let them get good food. And he gave the reason also for that. He said, when they come to the Gurukulam, not now so much is applicable, but those days, they don't have any avenue for happiness. Because in those days, the cell phone was not there, so movie is not there, this audio, etc. is not there. So all those things are cut off. And the mind is used to have this experiential happiness. And you cut off from everything, then chances are that person may feel little low, depressed. Depressed mind is not a qualified mind for imbibing Vedanta. So don't think that Swamiji, my brother-in-law is depressed, shall I bring him to Vedanta course? Don't bring. Don't bring. I will be depressed, perhaps. Vedanta is meant for normal people. Just remember this. Vedanta is not meant for, it's like in psychology, they have got two psychology. Normal psychology, one book is there, abnormal psychology. So Vedanta is meant for normal people. So don't dump some people whom you can't handle. So idea of Puja Swamiji's approach is that let people have relatively happy frame of mind. That is his compassion. That is his, this insight of human mind. So the wise person, what does he think? I alone am manifesting in the form of all experiential happiness anywhere. Some person in Africa is eating some fruit in the forest, enjoying, I am manifesting. Shivaha. So I am Shivaha means I am Anandaha. I am fullness. So I am Sakshi, Nityaha, free from limitation of time. Pratyagatma, I am the real self and I am Ananda Swarupaha. So Sakshi indicates the Chaitanya Swarupa, Nitya indicates Sat Swarupa. Nitya means what? Ever existent. So I am Satchit Shivaha Ananda. I am Satchidananda Swarupaha. Alright. So the Anvaya, so some people might, nobody has asked me, but since somebody asked Swamiji, so I like anticipatory bail, I am giving the Anvaya. Aham dehaha na. Aham indriyani na. Aham we can supply. Aham pranavargaha na. Aham buddhihi na. Aham ahankaraha na. So we have to supply aham, because 2-3 times na is there, therefore we have to supply. Otherwise one na will take care of everything. Dara patya kshetra vittadi duraha san aham sakshi nityaha shivaha pratyagatma asmi. Alright. Now, in the next shloka, one more Viparita Bhavana is addressed. What is the Viparita Bhavana? I am an individual. I am a Jivaha. I am an individual. Subject to Janma, Marana, birth and death, subject to Sukha and Dukkha, that Jiva I am. And that Jiva Bhava, which is strongly ingrained in our system, that is being negated in the next shloka. Rajvagnanad bhati rajjau yatha hihi Svatma gnanadatmano jiva bhavaha Aptoktya hi bhranti nashe sarajjuhu Jivo naham deshikoktya shivoham Please chant. Raj. Rajju agnanat, rajvagnanat, bhati, rajjo, yatha, ahihi. I am just breaking these words, breaking the sandhi. Swatma gnanat, atmanaha, jiva bhavaha. Aptoktya, ahibhranti nashe, saha rajjuhu. Jivaha na aham, deshikoktya, shivaha aham. So here, the essence of this shloka is, I am not Jivaha, I am Shivaha. His rhyming also is there. Naham Jivaha, kintu Shivaha. Shivaha we don't say Shivaha. And this idea is conveyed with the help of the example of the rope snake. It is one of the favorite example of Vedanti. Some people who don't like Vedanta, no, they say like this. They say all the time, rope snake, आपके पास कुछ है ही नहीं दूसरा. You don't have anything else, all the time rope snake, you know. कुछ दूसरा भी तो बोलो, something else you tell. You may also wonder why we are generally holding on to Rajju Sarpa, Shuktika Rajata. Why we are giving same example? We can, in fact, we give other example also while teaching, we give other example. It's a good exercise. When you can give another example, it shows your clarity of the subject matter. So one example teacher will give, one example you yourself can give. Then you have got clarity. But why do we retain this example? You see, whenever you in Vedanta, they generally give this example only. The reason is that example is a tool. And once you have been explained this Rajju Sarpa example, that whenever this topic of mithya, unreal, superimposed because of ignorance, when the topic comes, immediately this example is given. So that example need not be explained again. Otherwise, every time you have to spend time on example itself. See, always, the lady says, Swamiji, if I cook in my own kitchen, I feel more comfortable. Isn't it? They see, even this one doctor said, he said, I will like to operate Swamiji in my own hospital, not outside. So everybody has got this comfort zone. So Vedanta teacher always feels that if you have explained the example once, why to explain example again and again, different examples? Example is meant for conveying the idea, and therefore we retain the example. But sometimes we do give another example so that person doesn't think that there is only one example and therefore the subject matter is very narrow. It is only specific to certain situation. It is not. We can give other examples. But here, Rajju Sarpa example is given. People have got their academic interest. This Rajju Sarpa example, is it there in the Shruti? In the known Shruti, 10 Upanishads, it is not there. but it is there in Mandukya Karika. So at least the known source, the earliest known source we have is this Mandukya Karika, we have this. Alright. So here the example all of you know, that you are traveling, there is twilight, means there is no complete darkness, there is no complete light. And there is a rope, and as Swamiji said, you have a lot of samskara of the snake because you saw some movie or something, and you have some fear also. Then, when you see the rope and you do not know that it is a rope, then you see the snake. So that is called Bhranti Dasha, the state of delusion, where you are seeing the rope as snake. This is called Bhranti Dasha. Then you are running, seeing the snake. Then somebody comes and asks you why. Then he said, oh, there is a snake. That person said, no, I know that there is no snake, there is a rope only. And you have Shraddha in that person. And therefore, you throw a torch and you also confirm. Yes, there is no snake, there is rope alone. So by this second stage is called Jnana Dasha. The first one was Bhranti Dasha or Ajnana Dasha, the state of delusion or state of ignorance. Second is the state of knowledge, when you discover that what was seen as the snake is nothing but the rope. This is the example, all of you know. From this, we can derive the three particular facts regarding Ajnanam and in the Jnana Dasha, Bhranti Dasha and Jnana Dasha. The first thing is, any delusion, any superimposition is because of ignorance. If ignorance is not there, delusion cannot be there. So the first point is, any Bhranti, any delusion, any superimposition is because of ignorance. Ajnanat Bhrantihi. That is first point. Second thing is, when the delusion is removed by the statement of a learned person, informed person, then you discover the adhishthanam, the truth of that Bhranti. The truth of that Bhranti snake is what? The rope. So when there is a negation of the superimposition, then you discover that what you thought to be the snake is nothing but the rope. So what was superimposed is understood to be its adhishthanam. The Rajju is called adhishthanam. In English there is a word for adhishthanam, substratum. Puja Swamiji used to avoid this word, substratum. Even though generally it is used substratum, okay. But he used to avoid because substratum has got the idea of something really to both the things, what is there above and what is there down below of same degree of reality. Therefore, he used to use the word adhishthanam. Adhishthanam means the truth of something. What really is called adhishthanam. What appears to be there is called adhyasa, Bhranti. So when there is negation of the superimposed, then you understand the truth of this negated one is the adhishthanam, is the reality. And reality alone was misunderstood as something else. And the third thing highlighted here is that this negation happens by the statement of an informed person, aptoktya. So Bhranti Nasha, the delusion of say the negation of the delusion happens by the statement of apta purusha. There is a very beautiful word in Shastra. Apta purusha means a reliable, informed person. It's called apta purusha. So by the statement of apta purusha, the negation is done, and when the negation of the unreal is done, then unreal itself is the adhishthanam. Adhishthanam alone was appearing as unreal, that is understood. So these three ideas, that Ajnanam gives rise to Bhranti, and when Bhranti Nasha is there, then the truth, the Adhishthanam, the Adhyaropita is understood as Adhishthanam. And the third is that negation happens by the statement of the Apta Purusha. So these are the three ideas highlighted here, and that we can see in the Dashtanta, and those details we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari